Well, I'm in the link at the Jersey Museum to have a look at this exhibition of Jersey architecture. It is Jersey Design Awards 2022. And it says, it's a free exhibition of the awarded and commended schemes from 4th to 31st of January, the exhibition is on. Now it relates to the Jersey Design Awards ceremony, 30th of September last year, which recognized and celebrated good design created and achieved by Jersey architects, designers and developers. Entries for the next Jersey Design Awards will be invited in April 2024. And down there, look, you see, this is presumably the sponsorship of the government of Jersey. Ah, yes, that's what I'm looking for there. And this organization, which is the Jersey Architecture Commission, yet another commission. And here they are, the judges, the list of judges here. David Pritchard, Andy Theobald, June Barnes, David Goldston, Chris Twin, Sarah Hart, Anthony Gibb, and Colin Pill. I don't know any of those people, so that means nothing for me. And the 6 C's, the Jersey Architecture Committee uses the 6 C's to help review design proposals and have assessed the following awards: high commendations and commendations against the same 6 themes. Now those are the 6 themes. Just written there. Context, connectivity, community, climate, character, change. It doesn't include accessibility, of course, but maybe, you see, the first illustration I find here is this building, which I'm familiar with, a staircase on the front elevation. Now, staircases have their uses, of course, but they can also be used to inhibit access. Here's another one. Obviously, if there are different levels, you have to get from one level to another. So, staircases are the simplest answer. Ramps, to put a ramp in for that staircase, it would be very, very long and impractical, I feel sure. But somehow, these problems have to be overcome. Now, problems which exist in nature are one thing, but now you've got this drawing. This is an architect's drawing of the controversial scheme at Bref de Lec, where they're demolishing the little cafe and building a development. And this is the proposal. Of course, it's very small, the drawing. The size of it is very difficult to follow it. But, and the writing along the side is about I suppose it's about a 10-point. It's by various planning, which of course will not be accessible to lots of people. It's too small. I'm having difficulty reading it, but I can read it because it's quite a bold 10-point. But of course it's too high for many people. It could do with coming down. And of course it goes up there with the same size print, 10-point, is used, but that's much too high on the wall for lots of people to see it and struggle to read it. So I'm finding myself not really, I mean, I have to say I am struggling a bit with various pains. So here are, this is an interior, what I find with lots of architects, lots of designers who design in black and white, and then when they come to fitting it out, the interior, they put the colour in. So that looks like it was designed by Mr. Vermeer or somebody from that era who likes their somber lighting, nice dark browns. And the same up there, but I can't look up there because it's too tall, too far out of the way, too high on the wall. But, I mean, obviously, we want to see. It's good to have an exhibition. There's that same building again with its external staircase. I can't read the bluff. I don't know. This is Morris Architects, this one, look. I can't read what they're saying there, unfortunately. I'm a bit uncomfortable. I could do with a seat or two in this exhibition, just somewhere to sit down and restore my back. Obviously, one wonders when you see a design like that, how long it will be, how long it will preserve its pristine, pure white appearance. You know, this is what it'll be like once the streaks of weathering start to interfere with the aesthetics. Yes, I can't give a continuity of the designs because I don't know much about them, or they're not. See, making pretty pictures is one thing. It's good. The artistic, the art achievement. It's not just about the building. It's also about how information about the building is transmitted to people. There we go up there. Interesting use of green cladding. You know, I'm just going to have a little break now because my pains are getting rather acute. Here is an entry or a display from Godel Architects. Sort of domestic scale, very pleasant. Again, rather, for me today, very difficult to read the text. It looks all very pretty, but it's domestic scale stuff. And if we can't build decent houses by now,
people are sometimes scared of messing up your art. However, they can do well.
I can't do them justice, I'm afraid. It's, you see, you've got that thing there. This is part of the old building. Some people Obviously, this is a marble column. There, marble. Now, architecture doesn't have to be about buildings with marble columns. That's classical architecture. He's standing there. I don't know. I don't know what to say really. But there's a pair of them. Makes you think perhaps there's rather a grander entrance to something somewhere there. But that's the sort of common perception of people, that marble, grand building, ancient Greece, ancient Rome, that's what architecture is. But of course, just as much it's little cottages like this. I don't know. There are little humble buildings around the world which have survived a long time. And they all have the label of architecture if it suits. And of course, architects claim an exclusive right to use the word architect when they make designs. And I noticed this exhibition includes designers and developers, so I don't know whether you have to be a qualified architect to submit designs. I don't know. But of course, some of the great designers throughout history have been not qualified in the formal sense. Now, it's a bit like housing qualifications, isn't it? Whether somebody has the right to live in a house or not. So here, the goal here is not to rent the best accommodation you can find. The goal here is to win a gong or some award or something, or recognition. You see, this is Axis Mason again. And of course, you must remember that the acclaimed La Frégate, the upturned boat, was a widely acclaimed building when it was built by or designed by international famous architects. And now, of course, they're talking of demolishing it because, in spite of all the efforts of King Canute and his followers, the tide is going to rise and make it difficult to use. See, this is Waddington's here. Now, this is what looks a very pleasant little design, doesn't it? But is it? It all has a little Bauhaus flavour from the 1930s. Looks very pleasant, it's well done. But is that all it is? Pretty building? Does it add anything extra? I don't know. I'm not in the best mood today. I'm not in a very... I don't know what this is all about. This is Waddington's again. Hemery Road glass kernels. Of course, the Hemery family were, of course, shippers, traders, merchants back in the old 18th and early 19th century. And of course, I don't know what I'm afraid my eyes won't focus on that. I can't get to see it. I'm losing the bit of patience I have because the pain is a bit unpleasant today. I don't want to keep telling you about my pain, but people arrive to see exhibitions in all sorts of states and with all sorts of disabilities, for want of a better expression. This is Goddell Architects again. You notice in all these pictures, there are no people. These are just sculptural objects. And another thing about them which is very noticeable, it's always sunny. It never rains in the world of architecture. It never rains. Sometimes you get a bit of snow, occasionally, because snow creates some very architectural shapes. See, this is a free exhibition. That's significant, I think, because as so often happens, I'm the only person here, even though it's free. It's on till the end of the month. That's January 2023. It's on till the end of the month. Now, people get very excited, like we've looked at the cafe at Grève de l'Ec. That's had a lot of public excitement, centred on the loss of the car park especially, which of course is not much to do with the architecture. It's to do with the use of the land. Now, I don't know what that, see, I can't focus on that. This looks like a wabi. No, that's obviously a restaurant. I'm not sure if that's the restaurant here. That's got an award for the best interior. So whether it's who it is, let's have a look so I can find. Black background, PF and A Architecture, I don't know who that is. The ribbon, PF and A Architecture office. Of course, it's got a black background and very small writing text in white. Makes it almost impossible to read that. But I come to these exhibitions and I say the same thing every time I come. The illustrations, the photographs are invariably too high on the wall or too low on the wall, or the writing is too small. I don't know what you're supposed to do about it. I suppose a couple of models would have been nice. It's nice to see the model maker's skill, isn't it? And it allows you to there's a ramp up there. It actually hasn't got a handrail on it, so it probably doesn't comply with regs. It's temporary ramp for this occasion and other occasions. But it wouldn't be too difficult if you really tried to fall down that ramp. If you really tried hard. Yeah. How do we get from these old doors now? I don't know how old these doors are. They look like 19th century doors, but they're safe doors, aren't they? The design is safe. Let me just turn off for a moment because I'm in pain again. Now, I don't know which of these buildings were designed by architects. But of course, architects claim the protection of a royal charter to protect their name, as opposed to, obviously, if you're an architect, you can produce buildings which aren't very pretty, but the public expects buildings to be harmonious with their location. This is why there's so much objection. We can't build on greenfield sites. I don't know what other colours they do films in, but there's a sort of an obsession, isn't there, as soon as anybody wants to propose to build something where there isn't a building. And architects have to deal with that criticism at the initial stage. They have to produce designs which please their client, the planning office, wherever, and the general public. Everybody's invited to find fault with them, aren't they? It's an unusual sort of activity. And people make comments, people who've got no knowledge of design at all, but they can torpedo a design because basically they just don't like it. There isn't a commission for planning refusal commission. Perhaps that's what we ought to call it. Would it make any difference? You see, design hasn't stopped classical columns. It's progressed. And with these buildings in Jersey, it's difficult to say, because there's so many different styles of building. If we look at them just aesthetically from the appearance point of view, there's so many different styles. It's difficult to know what harmony is. Granite, of course, is harmony for some people. But green cladding is perfectly harmonious, isn't it? There's the sea there, look, the sea on that one. Now that sea there, turquoise sea, is virtually the same colour as the turquoise cladding here. So they, when the tide is up, if those two buildings can be seen together, which I don't think they can, there is a sort of a harmony. But it's transient, isn't it? So I'm meandering a bit. I'm trying to work out why there is an exhibition at all. Why is there? I don't know. Were the great buildings in Greece submitted to public condemnation? Or in Rome? Were they subject to public discussion before they were built? Were they ever refused planning permission? I've got absolutely no idea. But, you see, it's a very enjoyable activity, designing buildings or drawing them. It's like playtime at school. You sit there with your coloured pencils or your HB pencil and draw things. And it's nice to scribble. And eventually it finishes up on the computer. Nowadays, it's not how they used to be done, of course. It's all done on the computer, producing very nice drawings. But what does the commission say about that process? Is that to be part of the assessment? What the computer can do, what the computer can't do? I think I'm going to pack in now and go away and have a cup of tea somewhere, because I'm afraid my limbs are protesting.